The fryers hissed like a nest of angry snakes the moment I clocked in for my first midnight shift at KFC. The air was thick, heavy with the smell of burnt oil and old grease, a scent that clung to the back of my throat like something that had died and been forgotten. It was just me, the quiet hum of the coolers, and the endless night stretching out ahead. Then the phone in the back office started to ring, sharp, jarring sound that cut through the silence. I picked it up. KFC, how can I help you? Silence. Then a slow, wet breathing like someone was holding the receiver too close to their mouth, struggling for air. Hello? I asked again. The line went dead.
Ow.
I figured it was just some late-night prankster, a bored teenager with nothing better to do. I hung up and went back to the front, trying to shake off the uneasy feeling, but the phone rang again and again. Each time, it was the same story, that awful, labored breathing on the other end, followed by a sudden click. It was starting to get under my skin. I decided to just ignore it, to focus on my tasks. I turned my attention to the fryers, getting ready for the morning prep. That's when I noticed something was wrong. The oil in fryer number 3 was bubbling violently, far more than it should have. And the color, it wasn't the usual golden brown. It was a deep, murky red, and the grease was thick, viscous, almost like blood. A wave of nausea hit me. I backed away, my heart hammering against my ribs. What was happening? Before I could even process it, a deafening slam echoed from the back. The walk-in freezer door. It had been propped open, but now it was shut tight. I spun around, my eyes wide, and saw a thin layer of frost creeping across the linoleum floor, spreading out from under the freezer door like icy fingers. And there, in the frost, were footprints. Greasy, dark footprints, leading from the freezer and disappearing deeper into the dark kitchen. My own breathing was ragged now. Every instinct screamed at me to run, to get out of there. But a morbid curiosity, a stupid, foolish bravery, pulled me forward. I crept towards the back, my shoes sticking to the greasy floor with every step. I peered into the darkness of the stockroom, my eyes struggling to adjust. And that's when I saw him. Figure, impossibly tall and thin, was standing silently in the far corner, partially hidden by stacks of boxes. Its clothes were the same as the uniform, but tattered and stained. Its hands were blackened, dripping with what looked like hot oil. But the most terrifying part was its head. It had a crushed, grease-stained KFC bucket jammed over it, like a grotesque helmet. The figure didn't move. It just stood there, a silent, horrifying statue in the shadows. It stood in a way that felt wrong. It moved like something that only vaguely remembered how to be human. That was it. I was done. A primal fear took over and I didn't even scream. I just turned and ran. Fumbled with the lock on the back door, my hand shaking so badly I could barely fit the key. I finally smashed the door open and burst out into the cool night air, gasping for breath. I didn't stop running until I was blocks away. I glanced back one last time and through the front window. I could see the reflection in the fryer's polished steel surface. My reflection, but it wasn't moving. It was just standing there, staring back at me as I ran away into the darkness. They never found the night manager who was supposed to be on shift with me. The police report said he just vanished. The only things they found were the fryers, still running on high, and a batch of chicken that had been burnt to black ash. The other employees who worked the late shift, they have their own stories now. They say that sometimes, when the kitchen is quiet and the oil starts to hiss, they see him, the bucket man. A tall, thin figure standing just behind their reflection, waiting in the corner of their eye. Thanks for sticking with me through that one. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more chills. Stay safe out there, and maybe think twice about that late-night chicken run. See you in the next video.